Joan Hall, visionary, attorney, charter school pioneer.
Single-sex education has always been available to wealthy girls, and we wanted to make single-sex education a viable alternative for economically disadvantaged girls. We don't claim that an all-girls school is right for every girl, but research has indicated that many girls, especially economically disadvantaged girls, do better in a single-sex environment. At our school, girls hold all of the leadership positions. Chicago Foundation for Women is such an important institution in our community because issues affecting girls and women have been seriously underfunded. The Chicago Foundation for Women seeks to address that concern, and they have been wonderfully successful.
Ann Latke, women's employment expert, social activist.
It's our perspective that the economic issues facing women are critical in order for them to support families, live in safe neighborhoods, be independent. We think the economic issues are core to women's well-being and independence. And so, and we also felt that those economic issues were a unifying set of issues around which we could organize.
Sharmili Majmudar, survivors advocate, liberator, poet.
Rape Victim Advocates was founded in 1974, and since then has been providing compassionate, direct, informed, trauma-sensitive services to survivors of sexual violence and their significant others. We also work with communities to prevent sexual violence, and we also advocate for institutional change, particularly in medical and criminal justice institutions that have a direct impact on survivors' healing. Again and again, we see that people who are dehumanized are often targets of domestic and sexual violence. In order to address domestic and sexual violence, we actually have to address oppression in all of its forms. Without doing that, we are not going to be successful in creating a society that's more peaceful and just for everyone who's part of it.
Suji Min, adolescent health activist, mentor of youth advocates.
I come from an immigrant background. So health issues, first and foremost, are just of incredible importance to me. As far as sexual health issues are concerned, from an advocacy standpoint, I believe that if we can, get folks to advocate about sexual health issues, which in many communities and cultures is still very laden with shame and fear, and it's a taboo subject, then we can get young people and all people to really advocate for change on just about any issue.
Brenda Myers-Powell, survivor, healer, mentor.
Being a young lady that had been through many crises myself in life, once I got my own life in a bit of order, I asked God, what is it that I can do to give back? Because I felt that I had been saved. I remember when it came to me that I needed to help young girls, young women who had the same experiences such as I. So how could I do that? I had to go back into the community and reach out to those ladies myself.
Maria Pesqueira, organizer of Latina Women, proponent of community philanthropy.
I am fortunate enough to be the CEO and the president of Mujeres Latinas en Acción, one of the longest-standing Latina organizations in the nation. Our role at Mujeres Latinas is really about providing women with information that empowers them and their family, as well as bridging them to resources and opportunities, whether they be in a position of crisis in their lives or in a place in their lives where they want to continue to grow, whether it's through leadership training or parent training.
Wendy Pollack, women's advocate, lawyer, editor.
Well, we started the Women's Law and Policy Project because the majority of people who live in poverty in this country are women and girls. You can't really address poverty issues unless you are addressing the issues that impact women and girls the most. And so that is our focus. The Chicago Foundation for Women has been a great supporter of the Shriver Center and the Women's Law Project from our conception.
Diane Primo, businesswoman, philanthropic leader.
Primo Center for Women and Children really is a place for women to bring their children and families to feel nurtured and loved while we find them permanent housing, a job, and bridge them to any other services they might need. Our work is really inspired by the need to give back to others, to make sure that everyone in the world is cared for in the same way.
Hetty Ratner, women's business advocate.
We founded the Women's Business Development Center 25 years ago because we felt women needed to have another vehicle towards economic independence and empowerment. And business ownership had not been an option for most women. As one of the individuals who helped to fund and found the Chicago Foundation for Women, I'm enormously proud and grateful for its existence.
Daphne Renee, neighborhood organizer, champion, student.
In 2003, a group of young women started WIWA in September. It was due to a research, and from the research we found that there was a great need for young women group work that needed to be done in Rogersburg concerning street harassment and teen dating violence. And I thank CFW for always being funders of our project, supporting us financially, and so thank you for that. And we will continue to work on issues and violence against women.
Janice Rogers, attorney, steadfast social justice advocate.
I was the first person at my law firm to want to work part-time and went through a lot of issues on that. There were still different issues for women. I came after equal pay and shortly after the Pregnancy Discrimination Act and took good advantage of those. I think the main thing is that I really enjoy it. I think I got involved originally because I have lived women's issues, so I appreciated what had been done before me. Working on these issues was important to me.
Ruth Rothstein, organizer, public health pioneer, mentor.
Ruth is a national leader in the field of public health, one of the things she's best known for. During her tenure as chief of Cook County Bureau of Health Services, which is the third largest public health system in the nation, Ruth not only resuscitated the system's flagship hospital, but also established 30 neighborhood outpatient clinics. Her career began as a union organizer, where she participated in pickets, organized women factory workers, and documented cases of corporate racial and sexual discrimination. She brings that verve, that energy, that sense of activism to all the tasks she engages in.
Jane Sachs, progressive media activist, academic leader, poet.
Gender and gender identity impacts the ways we experience the world and how the world experiences us. And a gender lens helps us really confront power structures, social assumptions, and imagine what a just and equitable society could not only look like, but how it would affect who we are and our possibilities and imagination. And so the arts really afford an opportunity to participate and really engage in democracy.
Deirdre Joy Smith, networker, visionary, mentor.
I was inspired to create power because of the women that I would interact with, mostly young, mid-level women who were trying to advance in their career, and they were looking for mentors. And so initially we started to program on the adage of she who learns teaches. I think it's really important that women take the time to mentor young women, to help them understand that they can reach their full potential, to give them the courage to do that, and to provide them with the tools necessary to reach to the next level.